Welcome everyone to my IDC 43 run. This is Swiss round number 1, where I'm up against MrDelacerna at the top of your screen, who is playing Water Dark Fire Nature Rebirth Midrange, and I'm at the bottom of your screen playing Water Dark Aggro with Spinslicer. I'm gonna win the die roll, but unfortunately I'm not gonna be having any play on turn 2, which is quite a shame. But at least I'm gonna be having a Aquahulcus turn 3 and potentially, yeah. I'm not even gonna do that because I top deck an Aquagar, which is gonna allow me to go for Aquagar plus Spinslicer on turn 3. So then I can go for Aquahulcus on turn 4 if anything. And he's gonna use a Soul Sap on my Spinslicer to put the Aquaguard in, but I'm gonna have the other copy of Spinslicer just in case this happened. It's always nice to hold on to a second copy of Spinslicer in hand, just in case they try to use a Soul Swap on it. And the funny thing is you also get to ramp up in mana. So now he's just gonna summon a Quixotic and he's gonna bounce the Aquahulcus back to my hand. This turn I'm most likely gonna summon Unicorn Fish because I wanna get rid of that Quixotic. As if you were to play 2 creatures, the Quixotic would be a 7000 power, which would allow it to run over my Spinslicer. And I can always go for a Lucky Ball next turn. Here he would need something like Galek or Corail, but not sure if he has it. He finally unlocks all the mana colors in his deck. All I know is that he has a Quixotic and 5 mystery cards, so he's gonna go for 2 creatures, an Aquahulcus and a Quixotic. And I'm gonna take this time to play Lucky Ball, draw 2 cards and then summon that Propeller Mutant. And the reason I go for Propeller instead of Spinning Terror is if he were to use Searing Wave, I would get a discard from Propeller Mutant as well. I'm probably only going to attack with Spinslicer and then have 3 creatures left. No point breaking the last shield because these mid-range decks tend to play Searing Wave, so I always like to leave the last shield alone, because if they were to play Searing Wave and clear the ball, they would also have to remove the last shield, put it in the grave, so potentially they would also have to get rid of a shield trigger if the last shield is a shield trigger. However, if I'm up against Emerald decks that play Holio, I do the opposite. I try my best to remove all the shields so they cannot set a Holio in the last shield. MrDelacerna is saying he's looking bad, and I have to agree. Unless he has Meltdown in hand and I don't get any trigger, but I haven't even seen a Spiral Gate yet, so the likelihood of one being in a shield is quite high. So all he can do is play a Rebirth. I'm not sure what he's gonna get with. Okay, Paladins to bounce the. And he forgot the Spinslicer is a blocker, so he thought he would just evolve Paladin to crash into the Spinslicer, but the thing is the Spinslicer was gonna get bounced. So yeah, unless he has Holio in the final shield, he's not winning this one. Because I can just go for Spinslicer. Yeah. And that's the first game. We're gonna go into the second game where MrDelacerna is gonna be on the play, so he's gonna have a bit of an advantage this game. Duel Spider is not the best to drop in this matchup because it's a creature heavy mid-range deck, so if you take your shields to hand, that's gonna mean that you're gonna get them closer to a one-hit kill with your creatures. That's why I've been thinking of removing one Duel Spider from the deck, just having 3 copies, because it's only really good against hard control decks like Fortress and Ruby deck outs, sometimes decks like Dark Fire Nature controls, but in general it doesn't really do anything against fast aggro decks and mid-rangey decks. So I'm gonna be having a Propeller Mutant and then a Spinning Terror. Next turn I can go for an instant Spinslicer. He might have to crash into the Propeller Mutant, which is gonna give me a discard as well. And an interesting point about MrDelacerna's list is that it plays Calc Life, which these lists usually don't play. I think the main reason he did was because he thought I was gonna play Hydro Hurricane, so he wanted to counter deck me. But I played a little mind game and I brought the other deck instead. It was about time I brought this deck anyway. I didn't wanna play Hydro all the time. Now it's gonna be on 6 mana, which means he can even go for like an Aqua Surfer and he'll be fine. Okay, so he's gonna go for Jagalzor, break a shield and then destroy the Spinslicer with a Jagalzor. So this turn I'm just gonna probably play the Spiral Gate to bounce the Jagalzor. And yeah, then destroy the Aqua Hulkus. could have been a point to breaking a shield just to force him to play Jagalzor again. Yeah, especially since he had Searing Wave in hand. Here I have just two Spinslicers in hand, which are kinda a brick if they don't have an evolution bait to combine with. Now he's gonna go for two more shields with Bronze Arm and Jagalzor. This turn, and here I make a big misplay because I don't realize I have game in hand. I have double guard with double Spinslicer, so all I have to do is charge one of the other water cards, the Lucky Ball or the Unicorn Fish, play both of the Aqua Guards and evolve both of them into Spinslicer, and then just go for game. But for some reason I didn't see that. I was hyper fixated between Unicorn Fish and Lucky Ball. I was thinking which one is more likely to help me survive. And I'm thinking of bouncing the Jagalzor and then going for double Aqua Guard, so Jagalzor's effect cannot happen if I have Aqua Guards to stand in the way. So yeah, lesson learned. Make sure you consider all possibilities with the cards you have in hand. Don't just hyperfixate on certain cards. It's like the saying, I didn't see the forest for the trees. So now he's gonna use a Rebirth on Unicorn Fish, so he's most likely gonna get out a Giga Balza. And he's gonna discard a Lucky Ball. So yeah, now this turn, just gonna pass the turn because I wanna go for game next turn. Now it's just gonna play Corail on the Propeller Mutant. And I kinda need that Propeller Mutant to survive one turn so I can go for game with Spinslicer next turn. And unfortunately for me, he has Buzagazil, and the only way I win this game is by going for game with Aqua Guard and Propeller Mutant, so I think I decide to take a small risk here. Well, not exactly small, because if I block he can just go for game. Because the thing is, the longer the game goes, the worse it is for me. Because he will just be able to keep puzzle locking me every turn. And yeah, there was no shield trigger, so I would have won if I went for double Spinslicer, but I just didn't see it. Have to start paying more attention to everything I can do. Not just obvious plays. And also in Duel Masters I tend to have the mindset that if I'm on a higher amount of mana, the higher mana creatures or cards tend to be better, but there's some scenarios where just playing multiple small cost stuff is a lot better, like in that case. So this game I don't exactly have the most amazing hand. I even hit into a shield 1 Gigaballs with Melnia, so that's gonna remove my lucky ball and also gonna be able to trade with Melnia. So now you can just crush the Gigaballs into the Melnia and go for shields with Quixotic. Maybe he doesn't have to, maybe we can just wait for a bit. But he doesn't have to, he is playing a mid-range deck after all. So this turn I decided to go for Spiral Gate just so I can break one more shield and have a Lucky Ball live if I happen to top deck it at some point. He's gonna play Volcano Charger on it, and I have to think if I wanna get a shield to my hand. And I think I decided to do it because I need more ways to apply pressure, but now it's gonna take advantage of that, break one shield. At least now I get to play a Lucky Ball. He's just gonna play Rebirth on it and play another Gigaballs. And now he can just keep going for shields. This turn I'm gonna have to go for Hulkus into Spinslicer and run over the Bronze Tribe, otherwise I'm gonna lose. But if he has a Jagalzor in hand, he'll be able to go for game. But he does have the Pyrofighter, so now he can just go for game. And yeah, gonna end up losing this game 2-1 when I could have won it 2-0 had I paid more attention to everything I could do. But yeah, you live and learn. My deck should be on the screen for those of you who are interested. And until next time, see ya.